everybody. Thanks for joining us here today on this fabulous Wednesday, August 20th of 2025. We have some good news, everybody. Analogue is shipping their orders. That's right. They have sent everybody an email today, and they have posted on their site. Has it been no surprise that we would see the Analogue 3D already? That's right, folks. The Analogue 3D is just a step away. So, today, everybody got their email. Sometime just after lunch, for most people. And we were all surprised. Actually, when I seen the words Analogue, I was surprised. But then when I went to go open it, I knew it was a whole long gibberish of stuff. So, this is what they sent me. And this is what they sent everybody. Well, heck, what they sent you is actually on their site. So, everybody's already reported on this, and I would have reported on it a lot sooner, but there was no need because it just blew out of the water like Krispy Kreme donuts. Oh, yeah. So, nobody knows exactly as much as I do. That's right, folks. That Analogue is coming. Let's take a look at their announcement. Oh, yeah. So, right down here was today's update, and it says, read more. Well, people, they said the word sucks right here. Yeah, that's the word I wanted to see. The word sucks. So most people don't know, but when someone puts the word sucks in there, that's usually, and I'm not going to say it, but I'm going to say it. It's usually a white person. I'm going to have to say that this is no shocking to anybody out there. This does not shock anybody, actually. My shop app that I have, that everybody possibly has, it still says September 1st for the delivery of this Analogue 3D. I'm surprised that it still says September 1st. It says Monday, September 1st. It shows an airplane, and then it shows like a bus or something, Now I think it's just a little gimmick now. Hey, we're showing you. It's in transit. So, now I understand. So, I guess if you want to ask yourselves the question as to why they would send this email to everybody, and this is the actual email. I don't even have to show you my email because it's this. We all knew that they were going to take these last week or so, and then they were going to send something out to everybody. We all knew that was going to happen, but what was it going to be? So I thought, they might be so bold as to say, it's coming in just a few weeks. It'll be here by the end of September. So that's what I was feeling like, but now they're just like, hey, you know what? Now they're really BSing some people, Like, what really sets and defines a company? A company that can just come on out and just tell the truth. This seems like you're kind of telling the truth, but you're dancing around while telling it, okay? So, I want to do a shout out to Mad Little Pixel. He did get his video out there nice and fast, and, it was, probably just like 2 hours after the announcement, and he's pretty funny. He's actually getting pissed off, You can see that he's got this, every other word is like shit or fuck or something, and I thought about making fun of the situation, but instead I'm going to be a little more positive this time, because we all know that you can't help it, and last thing they said, last thing the Analogue said to everybody was, well, it's the tariffs. No, it's not the tariffs. And you got to stop with that whole it's the tariffs shit. Okay, so the tariffs did shock the whole Chinese community over there, but it's also your fault for dealing with the Chinese thing. Like, first off, we know they're going to make it for the cheap. Well, why couldn't you guys just make it and find a company that works with America, in America, and outside of there? You know? So, I don't know what you're thinking, but you don't put a product out there and have a product that you say you're going to produce and have. You just don't do it unless if you know you have the backing to do it. You should have units already prepared to ship right away. You should be ready to do it and be already have them made and ready to sell. You should have took out a loan, and then once they're made, then you come forward and say, okay, we've got these, and they'll be ready in a week, or we can ship them out to you now. You know, you should have took out a loan for this. I don't know what kind of company would even do a loan for you. I mean, what bank, you know? But if you're if you have money of investments, they usually want collateral of some sort. So this is where your company could be bought out by other companies. You put your head on the chopping block, and then next thing you know, it's bought out on the circuit out there. So I don't know what to tell you. We knew this was going to happen. You know, I find it strange. They say the words, it's at 99%, and yet nobody, and I mean nobody, has any idea what the hell they're talking about. What's at 99%? It says hardware, system, packaging, the full kit, been set for months. So I try to read into it to see what they're thinking, because they put dashes there, the full kit. Can anybody tell me what they mean by the full kit? Is that the words that they just said? Hardware, system, and packaging? The full kit. Well, the full kit would come with a damn controller, for one. And a game, just like the Nintendo did, right? Well, you know, sometimes they come with a game. Been set for months. What was been set for months? What's been set? The last 1% is where we're focused. So when you guys say something like this, okay, the last 1%, ask yourself, why are you saying it's a 1%? You know, now there are other websites, you know, that are actually talking about this. Like within the past few hours, they've been, you know, talking about it, and you know, it's kind of stupid, but they are. I've seen 2 websites so far talking about this, and I guess, you know, that's what you do. You run a site, but you know, what is there to complain about here? You know, Analogue will always deliver. No, you don't. No, you frickin' don't. Like I said, there's marketing moves, and your company is going to end up falling out. This is going to be it. You're going to make something that plays PlayStation and Sega games, you know, Dreamcast and PlayStation games and all that, and then you're probably going to fall out at this point, because there's already people out there that's making this stuff, that has this stuff. Now here's what's really strange. If you look at the Polymega, they have a date set. You know, if you guys are pushing this back to the 4th quarter, shipping date for the 4th quarter, okay, if that's what you're going to do, there's a problem with that. because then that runs in tandem with Christmas shipping. Now, here in America, things have really changed. It used to be that you'd go to Toys R Us or go to the mall to buy your stuff and then come home and wrap it up and give it to your kids later or your family members. Well, America don't do that anymore. They've become 10 times lazier. That's right, folks. They sit at home on their phones and send messages that are negative to people. They shop Amazon. That's where it's at. In fact, Walmart is losing a lot of business because of Amazon. And you got to ask yourself, who wants to go to Walmart? Not me. Now, a lot of the new people in the country, foreigners and the people that are going to Walmart, well, that's the people that are going to Walmart. So, when you look at it from the perspective as Christmas time, people are going to go shopping on Black Friday and Cyber Monday, and pretty much those deals start up like in October, so people are going to be shopping and ordering. And so the problem with that is the UPS really sucks in America. They used to be good. It was all about how good they were back in the day. Now it turns into we can't get stuff sent and lost packages. So no matter how you look at it, I had a problem with FedEx. I thought FedEx, they're good. No, I've had 3, and I'm talking 3 in the past year from FedEx. Just never show up. It's just stuck at a warehouse in Ohio. Like, I'm wondering what the hell that's going on with. So when you look at a lot of UPS and FedEx and United States Postal Office, they're all slammed around this season. The fourth quarter, everybody's ordering for Christmas still and doing Christmas stuff. Now, it's not as big as it used to be, You'd think that, we're kind of overpopulated, but there's just so much poverty and everybody's putting their money in the houses and, all kinds of other stuff. Everybody kind of grew up. There's like a waiting period. Maybe in the next 5 years, you're going to see it kick back up or something. But there's a lot of uncertainty for the future of humanity right now. You got countries that are at war with each other. It's like full-scale war over there. Iraq, Iran, or whatever it is. You've got Russia and all them. It's like, what's wrong with you guys? Are you guys trying to deliver on that end of the world theory that is all over the place out there, So, and then you got the aliens. They don't even want to deal with you, They're watching and they're like, what the are you guys doing? So, this is definitely nothing new here. When they say the word, we know this sucks, that was somebody typing their thoughts right there. That's like when you're like, I'm trying to come up with something. No, see, this wasn't professionally written and thought about. This was someone typing. We know this sucks. That kind of comes in when you're typing a sentence, and then, and I want to know what the hell this word up here is. What the hell is that word? Terrifica. I think it's testosterone, everybody. I'm just having fun. I'm just having fun. So, I don't know why we continue to put up with this. Here's the thing, man. A lot of people in this time period that they are wasting away, they're probably getting these things made for like $40 a console. Like, think of it. You're buying this crap off of China right the frick now from Amazon. What are their prices on something just like this? Well, guess what? $40 to $80 on Amazon. So somebody's getting a cut from that, So, think about it. Are these things being made for like $40? And you want to talk about fucking tariffs to me? Oh, wait a minute. There I go again. I just did this. You know this sucks. That's what I just did. Right there. That's what I just did. I did it. Yep. So, you know, these guys, come on. So, I'm willing to make a deal with you. If you'll send me the console right now so I can do a review on it, I'll send it back to you. I'll pay you for doing it. And then I'll let you know what the hell I really think of it. The cold, hard truth. Now, the only way you're going to get brownie points for sure, 100%, me kissing your ass would be I get to keep it. Otherwise, there is no other way. You're on your own. So, if I have to send it back, then you're going to get my honest opinion. But I still pay you to do it. The worst part about this, everybody, is we've all been waiting for this, and this was all Nintendo's fault. Need I remind you that Nintendo is what really started this headache? See, it kind of goes a little bit like this. Nintendo, we were starving of our old video games. You know, the Wii U was actually a great system. It was fine. It just didn't have enough new games coming out for it. Okay, so one of the games, was that the one that had the Hyrule Warriors or something? You know, we thought they were going to come out with like a really awesome Zelda for it right away and stuff, but they didn't. You know, we thought we were going to have everything. Instead, they had a Wind Waker collection, Zelda, and all that stuff. So, GameCube was awesome. The Wii, I didn't really like the Wii, okay? I was like, you know, this isn't for me. But what was cool about it is you get a party of friends over all drunk, and you guys are swinging those things around, you know? And, you know, it's fun, you know? It's fun. You know, but that's about it. Yeah, I wasn't, you know, the controllers were just, come on. Now, one thing that people don't know is up until like the last few models, basically, you could hook up your GameCube controllers to the Wii. And so the last few models, like the Slims and stuff, they didn't come with that. But all the other Wiis did. So you could still play your GameCube games on a Wii. That's right. Most people just like forgot all about that. But see, during that time period, it was getting older where we were all involved with like Call of Duty and stuff like that. And it was just like Battlefield, Call of Duty. And so that was, you know, Xbox and PlayStation were taking the leads. And Nintendo said they were doing bad with the Wii U. But I liked the Wii U because I was able to play Zelda for the 64 and the other Zelda games. Actually, I had all the Zelda games on it. So Majora's Mask was on there and stuff and everything. So I thought it was great. And you could use the one thing as a map, you know. But the problem they did is where it really spawned from is they created these mini consoles. Okay, so it's actually Nintendo's fault for all of this. And that's where I'm putting the blame. Because this is what we've been seeking, and nobody can produce it. So they come out with these mini consoles. You've got the Nintendo, then the Super Nintendo. Well, we wanted the 64. Sitting there waiting. And then Analogue's like, you know, there's so many people talking about it. Yeah, I would actually look it up. You know, it's 2020. I'm still looking it up. 2022, 2023. And then all of a sudden, Analogue steps in. Hey, everybody. We got a way to play in 4K on your 64. Yeah. So that's really the fault here. Who's at fault? Yeah, we want to be able to play our old games, but this all spawns from Nintendo not producing what the hell they should have been producing in the first place. Kick out some mini consoles, put games on it, sell it for an ass load, for Christ's sakes, for HDMI, or 4K, whatever you want to do. And then keep coming out with like another version of it, another mini console that's purple, another mini console that's gold, collector's edition mini console. Do you see how far you could take this? And here's the kicker. You could be charging a lot of money for it. People are gonna pay it. Oh yeah. Now you think that it's gonna go the way of the mini console of the PlayStation. Well, the mini console for the PlayStation sucked. It didn't have, like, PlayStation was well known for producing billions of games. And the selection of games on the mini console for the PlayStation was so horrible, I didn't even buy it. I waited to buy that thing. Now, the reality is you thought it would also go kind of like the Sega Genesis mini console. Well, yeah, you kind of buy it, but then, it's like, well, it's just Sonic or just, Golden Axe or whatever they did. And, it's only Sega, it's just like, we could get those Zelda games or some Mario games and, but they could have really did like what Atari does. And Atari still makes sales, even though it may not be record-breaking. Atari, for the longest time, had their flashbacks and all this and that, and they're still doing it still to this day. And Atari is actually doing it kind of right. Like, you can come out with another console, and it's like Nintendo's just sitting there blindfolded and not seeing what Atari's doing. And they're not seeing what everybody else is doing. They're not... Like, I think it's a new generation, and their generation is just dumb as hell. It's time for someone to step up to the plate over there. The problem is Nintendo makes a ton of money off of all their merchandise, and they go after people. They get really mad about stuff. They don't understand what's really going on in the world. They think they do, but they're wrong. Trust me. If I'm complaining and telling you, then you're definitely wrong. So... anyways, they've got their Universal Studios for Nintendo, whatever in the hell that place is called. Let's all go there, everybody. Check out my Mario World. Well, yeah, everybody gonna go to that. And, I don't have the money to drive way the hell over there, but if I lived over by it, trust me, I'd be over there at least once or twice a year. So... just saying, it's a great place to take the kids. It's a great place to go have fun. It's a great idea. So, Nintendo does make some good ideas, but what they didn't do is make the console minis like they should have. They could have did collector's edition, special edition, and each one would come with a rare hidden gem game on it, or additional games. You could boost that up to 100 games. Now, you would also state that these are in limited quantities. Jack up that price. Oh, man, that's going to hurt somebody's booty. And that's what they should have did. And, yeah, you can make money off a subscription, but I hate to tell you, I'm not buying your subscription. I never will. No, subscriptions don't work. And here's how you know. And I hate to have to break this to you. So back in the 80s, they had something called Publishers Clearinghouse. And you could get a subscription to these magazines. And it was all about you could win money. All this stuff. You'd get these subscriptions to magazines. Well, really the only magazines that people had subscriptions to were like Playboy and Nintendo Power. So, all the other magazines you just pick up at the gas station if you did. But... anyways, the reality here, who really pays for a subscription, right? Nobody. Nobody wants a subscription. It's just like Netflix. It's kind of like we're forced into it. The only reason why we have a subscription to Netflix is because they have these videos on there. They will not produce on a damn Blu-ray, and they will not share with anybody else. Why do you think Xbox shut down their movies and TV, because everybody's claiming rights on movies now, so they have to go to their channel. Well, that's why in the hell PlayStation and Xbox ain't got their movies and TV anymore, because of that crap. Yeah, it's crap. It's like Peacock's got to have their own. You know, everybody. You know, Amazon, The Boys. I cannot go to the store and probably buy a copy of The Boys. However, there might be a Blu-ray copy of The Boys. I don't know, but there sure as hell ain't no damn Amazon ones. I tried getting the Amazon ones for like Cowboy Bebop or Stranger Things. Now, they might have a Stranger Things out there because it hit so big they want to make some more money. But Stranger Things was good, but if they make another one, it's just going to be like they're too old. It doesn't have that, ring around the rim anymore, so it's just going to kind of fade. Everybody's going to watch it once and be like, it started to kind of die on the last one, So, anyways, you know what I'm saying, people. Analog. The problem is there's actually a ton of people about to make your system. Every blueprint and idea that you just put out there with your Analog 3D, other companies are rushing right now to beat you to the envelope. Oh, yes. I don't know what you guys are talking about, that you guys said that the 8-bit guy is related to the Analog guy and their CEO or some BS. I'm just going to tell you right now, there is like a forest full of these people going to be making Nintendo 64 replicas, and it's already being produced right now. There is like 3 companies straight up hardcore going, and they are mass producing these damn things in China right now still. And 8-bit has some sort of little secret trick up their sleeve. I think they're going to wait until the Analog's done, and then the 8-bit's going to come out. You got these other guys, and 8-bit's going to sell theirs on Amazon for probably $80 or $100 or whatever it is. These are going to fly off the shelves when they hit Amazon, people. And it's not just going to be 8-bit. There's going to be other people, Hyperkin. Everybody is going to be doing it. I'm telling you right now. It's just all about how fast can China produce it, and why are we waiting on China? The problem is nobody here in America, they kind of keep you poor. You're basically designed to spend money on everything out there. We had this problem. It started in the 80s, just so you know. So, I don't know what to really say about this. You take a look at it and you say, here's everybody's idea. We have BS. So, are we going to get it in October, or are they going to push this until next year? Or are they going to push it until Christmas? Because Polymiga says they're coming out. And they actually have a date that they're coming with theirs. So Polymiga's restock is coming. Depends on when you ordered it. So they actually already know the dates, and they already have theirs set. They had their stuff set a long time ago. They figured out how the China man works. This stuff's gonna, I'm telling you, in the next year or two, you're gonna see this crap all over Amazon. People selling consoles for the N64. And then, the PlayStation's gonna be next. Stuff that can play your old games. That's right. And I'm not kidding you. Because they're already rushing to make it. It's all over. There's all these companies. It's ridiculous. So, Analog, will they get out there first and beat everybody to the punch? Because Polymiga is about to restock. I'm not down with the whole Polymiga thing, because of the cost. You can buy the stuff right now from somebody off of eBay, and you can still buy some stuff from their shop, but this Analog thing is turned into a nightmare. So, hats off to you, Mad Little Pixel. You got pissed off. We're all pissed off. We all got it. I figured they were going to wait till the end of the week. Like I said, like the end of next week. But, they surprised me. When I first seen Analogue, I'm like, what? Man, I ain't got time for this. It was like, what? And then it was like, wait, I ain't got time for this. So I actually put the phone down because I got stuff to do. I'm at work, And then when I got a minute, I went and read it, and I was like, oh my God. I was like, what does their website say? What does their Twitter say? It says the same crap. So, oh man. I hate to say it, but what about those people that move? What about those people that move? What are we going to do to them? You ordered it, you moved. They say, oh, we got to check the address. No, they don't give a damn. You can't change the address. They don't even know what the hell they're doing. So, with this being said, this is kind of Nintendo's fault for not continuing to produce. Now, just so you know, if Nintendo said they were going to make something, they would have had this out and on the floor by now if Nintendo was doing it. But that's because they have all that money backing them. So if I was Analogue, if they plan on doing another type of console, which they really can't do, they could try the GameCube or try a PlayStation, Dreamcast mix, but you're running out of fucking games real quick. You're running out of games real quick. The 64 was a time where everybody was playing video games. So you're haunting on our back doorsteps of everybody that's probably 40 and 50 years old right now, some even in their 60s, that played this stuff. And so people in their like 20s and 30s right now, they don't even know what any of this is. So you're really just looking at us, people that know the old days. But anyways, you've heard enough from me. And you know where I stand. I really didn't want to have to make a video tonight because I'm so tired and I've got so much going on. But I'm going to try to put out a little bit here, but it is pretty funny. It's funny to watch this whole thing. So, if you guys have your time to spare, subscribe to the channel. If not, whatever. Because it doesn't even matter, right? Because most people that watch anything on YouTube, they don't even bother to subscribe. But the reason is people are trying to get their numbers up, so that way they can do more with their channel. So, it is what it is. I don't really care. I know that in 20 years from now, I'll have more than enough. So, if you guys have any questions, post them down below. Maybe we can fire up the Analogue Kindle. I don't know. Like I said, my shop app says September 1st still. I'm wondering if they're not going to be able to ship until September now. And then we're looking at September to October. But fourth quarter is like October 1st. I like to say fourth quarter is actually next month if you ask me, but whatever. So, if you guys have any questions, drop them down below. I'll catch you guys on the next one. And don't order anything from these companies, man, that deal with China anymore. You're going to learn your lesson. Wait until it comes out. When it's out on DVD. Till next time. Later.
Zombie Apocalypse.